Let me go through some actives and actives real quick. Darius Slayton, a little bit of a surprise. He's going to be the first doubtful player to be active.
He is.
Okay. He had a neck injury that improved the past couple of days. It's probably going to be a neck strain, something of that nature. Nothing spine, nothing cervical. But good to see he's playing. I think he had like an arm thing last week, so it might have been a stinger that improved over the last couple of days. So he's in. Rachaad White is active after being downgraded to questionable with his knee. Dameon Pierce is active finally for everybody holding on to him. Zay Jones active again. Caught a touchdown last week, so let's see if he can do the same against the Texans. Carlton Davison and Devin White in for the Bucks. T. Higgins, not a surprise. He was rolled out earlier in the week. Just wanted to highlight him. Noah Brown also out, but he has a diminished role with Nico Collins and Tank Dell back in that offense. Dexter Lawrence on the defensive side for the Giants is out, and Kendrick Miller, healthy scratch. More of a dynasty play for everybody still believing in him. But Jamal Williams is back healthy. Alvin Kamara is healthy. So feel free to send some start-sit questions. I'm just going to go over some of the matchups. I know they're not the primetime turkey matchups. This is kind of the leftover action. Giants at Patriots. I feel bad for you if you have to start any fantasy players in that game. I know Saquon's a big play. I got Ramondre in that game, but hopefully you're not starting any wide receivers. If anybody's relying on Slayton, that might be troubling at this point in the season, but who knows? Maybe you can roll a dice with flex play. Any worries about Rachaad White? Not really sure. I mean, it might have happened in practice. We don't really have a lot of video to go off of. The backup is Chase Edmonds, so not exactly inspiring for him to get a lot of carries. I don't think that's a stream play. But if you have Rachaad White, he's got to be active. He's got to be in your lineup. It is kind of a rough matchup against the Colts. They've been decent against the run this year. Probably going to be a back and forth game, mostly running the ball. But yeah, if you have Rachaad White, put him in your lineup. DFS, I'd probably look elsewhere. But again, not a lot to go on because happened in practice, kind of got downgraded last second. Thanks for the questions, guys. I'll get to them in a second. Look at TikTok right now. You can send them in on YouTube as well. We're also over on Twitter. Start to Mixon, Kupp, Kyren, or Taylor. Thanks for highlighting Kyren. We think Kyren's good to go. I mean, he had a full 4 weeks for a high ankle sprain. You've seen Saquon's linger a little bit, but I think he's good to go. He gets a matchup against the Cardinals. Cooper Kupp, similar thing. He had a minor right inversion sprain. He's had that earlier in the year, so should be able to shake that off. Not a whole lot of new damage. Let's go over those two again. Mixon, Kupp, Kyren, or Taylor. That's kind of a tough to pick between those four. Those are good options.
I like Mixon this week a lot.
Yeah, Mixon we think is going to get some receiving work too. I mean, Jake Browning versus Kenny Pickett is super exciting TV for everybody watching. So I think it's going to be a lot of Mixon. I know that Steelers defense is tough, but expect Mixon to get some receiving work out of the backfield with the young quarterback checking down to him. I mean, they don't really have a reliable tight end to check down to. Irv Smith's kind of been hit and miss. So I'd go Mixon. I'd probably go Cooper Kupp. I think they're going to be able to throw against Cardinals. Kyren, you can make an argument for Kyren coming off IR, but I don't know that they're going to run him to the ground immediately. Jonathan Taylor, kind of a rough matchup against the Bucks. I know the Bucks do have some secondary issues, but I think they're going to be decent against the run. Let's see. Greg Dortch, Rashid, Goodwin, Downs, Pacheco. That's just your whole lineup. Who do I start? Probably go Pacheco against the Raiders. Raiders haven't been able to stop the run all year. Depends on Max Crosby. We're waiting for that. It's the afternoon game. We think Max Crosby does have a chance to play. I mean, it's been chronic. He's been on the injury report with that knee. We assume it's the same knee all season. He's been able to play through without a designation. This time he's doubtful, but there's some news that he could play. So I think regardless of whether he plays, he's on the pass rush. So I think Pacheco's a safe play out of all those. But thanks for giving me your whole lineup. Kincaid or McBride? Oh, that's a good problem to have.
Both.
Can you sit a wide receiver and put one in your flex? Like I think that's the move. McBride's just going to get fed by Kyler. I mean, years past he hasn't shown a lot of ability to throw the tight end, but I think they know they have something in McBride. Rams coverage linebackers leave something to be desired a little bit, so McBride's going to have plenty of opportunities. Kincaid going against Philly. No middle linebacker, some linebacker depth issues. So I think Kincaid's been a focal point of that offense, obviously, besides Stephon Diggs. So Kincaid, I think, is a safe bet. Let me hop over to YouTube real quick. Singletary, McBride, or Herbert for flex. Guessing Khalil Herbert. Khalil Herbert against Minnesota. I'm not too big of a fan. They have a stable there. I think Dante Foreman is doubtful, if I'm not wrong.
Yes,
so that is kind of a plus for Khalil Herbert, but I still think Justin Fields is the main running back in that offense. He showed that last week. Singletary, I'm a little dubious of. I mean, Dameon Pierce is back. Jacksonville's pretty healthy on defensive side of the ball. So might be a little tough to justify starting Singletary with Dameon Pierce back. I think just trust McBride. He's been the go-to tight end option in that offense for Cardinals. Hey, Alex. Jumping back over to you or the TikTok. Thanks for all the questions, guys. Keep them coming in. DeAndre Swift or Tank Dell. That's another good problem to have. Swift going against Buffalo. Tank Dell going against Jaguars. Taylor's scratching his head over there. I know.
Both again.
Can you find a way to get both in? I mean, those are both lock plays every week. I know, we're really not. I'd probably lean Swift. I don't know. Buffalo still without Daquan Jones, Matt Milano, two big run stoppers.
For Swift.
Yeah, Swift's maybe get some receiving work too. And Ed Oliver being back has been helpful. He's kind of played like two people, so that's been good for them. What else am I looking at? Ooh, since Michael Thomas is out, do I start Rashad or keep Edwards at flex? I'm assuming that's Gus Edwards, who gets 2 touchdowns every week, automatic. I didn't trade for him.
He's going to have a game today.
I think A.T. Perry should be on some radars. I don't know if you're starting him this week, but I think you should pick him up. It might have been just Jameis's favorite target because that was his touchdown when
Sam Hartman's favorite target.
Michael Thomas went out, but I think Rashid is the main beneficiary of that. So that's a good idea. I think you'd trust Gus Edwards this week against Chargers, especially without Joey Bosa. But Rashid should be a consideration going forward. So that's a good question there. I have Tank, Puka, Waddle, and Olave starting. Do I need to remove one and add Thielen or Devontae Smith?
Well, Waddle played already. He did good.
Yeah. Olave is going to get some help from Michael Thomas being out. Waddle played already. Had a good week. Puka. Has Puka's numbers been good his last couple weeks?
They've been sustainable, but he's but the Cup's back. So
he kind of has low ceiling now with Cup back and the rest of that offense kind of clicking, especially Kyron back. But for Thielen or Devontae Smith, I might do Devontae Smith. I mean, we've kind of been over the Buffalo secondary issues. They had like 8 cornerbacks get concussions last week. Only one cleared, Teron Johnson. So Dane Jackson's out. So Christian Benford is still there, but I think Buffalo can be had in that secondary a little bit. That might be maybe I'm just willing a shootout to happen, but I think that's going to be one of the more exciting games of the slate. We think Tank or Puka out. I think Tank's a lock. I think Puka, you know what you're getting. I think he's going to be the safe play. But I would go Devontae Smith in that role. Let's see. Singletary, Keaton Mitchell, or Cup. Trust Cup. Singletary is going to split with Dameon Pierce back. Keaton Mitchell is just he's a home run hitter. I get it. He's fun to watch, fun to play, but trust Cooper Kupp. He's fine off that ankle. Going to play through. Warren or Javonte Williams. Jalen Warren, I think, has won the job. I know we've said that like 18 weeks in a row, but I think he's won that job. Maybe Matt Canada was the one holding him back. So I think start Jalen Warren.
Bet his plus rushing and receiving as well.
There you go. Jalen Warren, rushing, receiving. You heard it here
3
first.
3 straight weeks. Maybe 4
3 straight weeks.
Yeah.
I forgot where it was, but
Sorry.
Yeah, go go with who I said.
Do what I said.
No, thanks. A lot of questions coming in on TikTok. I'll try to get to a few more before we have to hop off. Thielen or DJ Moore? DJ Moore, I was wrong last week. It's Justin Fields is absolutely locked in on DJ Moore every week. It's just he blows up fantasy-wise, so keep trusting that. Jamar Chase, Hollywood Brown, Cook. No, is that Cooks? Puka or Cup? Start 2. Jamar Chase, yeah, I have him in my lineup.
Could be James
I don't know.
Cook. I think
James Cook, yeah, it's got to be. Jamar Chase, I don't know what he did get that late touchdown for Jake Browning, but
It was a 2-yard
I'm like,
touchdown.
yeah, I'm like debating starting Ayuk as my wide receiver 1 and just keeping moving Jamar Chase down the lineup, but that might just be an overreaction for me. I'd probably go James Cook and Jamar Chase. Just trust him. I know it's the Steelers. Probably Joey Porter is going to be on him, but it's a tough one. Addison, Odell, or Downs at flex. It's a good one to highlight for Odell. He is going to play. Zay Flowers is going to play as well. Didn't get to that at the top, but Zay Flowers, not sure exactly when that happened. It's just a hip. Odell was an AC joint. He can inject and play through. He will, because he's a veteran, has proven to do that in the past. I don't know that his last couple of weeks are any indication that he's going to continue to do that. You might probably better off trusting Addison. We don't think Justin Jefferson's going to be back for this game, or if he is active, probably more a decoy role. They do have the bye next week, so it beneficial for them. And he already spouted off against fantasy owners trying to push him to play when he's prioritizing his health. So they are in it for the long run. Vikings are a playoff team with Josh Dobbs. So got number one Vikings fan sitting across from me who's shaking his finger at me. Pittman or DJ Moore. I think we've been over that. DJ Moore should be started in every lineup for here.
But Pittman will have a good game against Carolina today as well. So
that is a good point.
I'm not
Pittman's
trying to convolute your things, but yeah, he has a good matchup.
I just doubted DJ Moore last week, and I'm like paying for it. Yeah, I got to swing the other way. Kyler Murray or Fields? That's a good question. Fields all the way. Kyler Murray's had some good weeks, especially rushing. I think it's been a little bit surprising because he's not 100% off that ACL. It's kind of more subtle. You can see it in the pocket when he's escaping that he's not using his right leg to cut as much. Still able to get out and get around the edge, but Fields is fully healthy. He's going to be the main running back. Khalil Herbert is going to mix in, but I know Dante Foreman's down, so I think Fields is the play there. He's going to get like 70 rushing yards from here to the end of time. Josh Jacobs or Bijan, I think I saw. Josh Jacobs going against the Chiefs. I know that he's a focal point of their offense. Even with their down,
just
they're going to
volume. You start him, yeah.
It's just volume. Yeah. Bijan, I know you wish you could trust for volume, but there's a certain coach there that doesn't like fantasy football. Jerome Ford or Stevenson? It's got to be Ford. Stevenson, I don't know that either team's going to have the ball enough. I think it's going to be like 18 punts, and then when they do get the ball, they're just going to be running.
I don't like Ford this week at all.
You don't like Ford
I'd rather have Hunt than Ford, yeah.
Who the Browns play?
The Browns play Pittsburgh.
No, that was last week. Catching up.
Denver.
Denver. This is last week's sheet, huh?
Get me wrong.
Browns play Denver. Yeah, Denver.
He hasn't hit his prop in 2 out of the last 3 weeks. So
Kareem Hunt, they're mixing into. I mean, losing that quarterback makes it they have to pound the rock, but it also makes teams stack the box because they're not scared of anybody throwing the ball, unless it's Joe Flacco, the ghost of Joe Flacco. So I think if you're starting Ford or Hunt, I don't blame you, but if there's better options, like Ramondre's the number one in the offense, that might be the better move. So probably lean Ramondre.
Denver has given up the most rushing yards all year long for defense, so we're telling you to sit that against that.
Take out the Miami game.
Might be the week. Yes, yeah.
They gave like 270 yards to the Dolphins.
Yes,
exclusively. Do I start Mario Douglas or Javonte? That's a good, crazy question. Javonte Williams. Don't start any Patriots wide receivers. Don't start any Giants wide receivers. I'm sorry.
You shouldn't have a Patriot wide receiver unless it was Kendrick Bourne.
Pop Douglas is doing the work. He stepped in that.
Demario. Yeah.
I know his nickname. I'm on a first name basis with him. Get to one more question, and I'll hop off here. Got some other things to catch up on. Zay Flowers, Cup, or Christian Kirk? That's a good question. I think trust Zay Flowers. We think Cup is better off his ankle, but I was thinking it's going to be lopsided for the Rams, but you can never tell with the Cardinals these days if they're going to play with the team or not. But trust Zay Flowers going against the Chargers. Their secondary has been pillow soft of lately, so just trust Zay Flowers. He's going to be good off his hip, and that's about it. All right, thanks everyone for joining. Thanks for all the questions. We'll catch you next week. TikTok's rolling.